How's it going today, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Shaner's Mechanic Life. You know, you turn wrenches long enough, you're going to end up with some wrenches that got some rust on them. My dad gave me these 8 wrenches a few years ago. I have no idea how old they are. I don't even know what brand they are. They're covered in rust so bad. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a rust remover shootout here. Some are actual rust removing chemicals, and some are some household items. And the last one is Shaner's method. Now they all have their own instructions on the back and tells you how to do it, but for the purpose of this test, I'm going to do the same thing with every product. I'm going to put the wrench in the bin, I'm going to cover it with the product, and I'm going to let it sit for, I'm going to give it a good 24 hours. And after that, I'm going to wipe them clean, and we're going to see which product does a better job. So here we go. So the first product is made by Lloyd's, and it's called Enviro Rust Remover. So I got the wrench in the bin. Just gonna pour the solution on top. Pour enough in until the wrench is submerged. And now on to the next one. The second product is called Krud Kutter, the must for rust. So we'll do the same method. This is actually a gel. I'll do the same thing. Pour enough in so the wrench is submerged. Third product is made by Walter, and it's BioRust non-corrosive rust remover. It's the same as the other ones. Pour it in, let it soak. This product is called Iron Out Best on Rust Stain Remover. Now this is actually a rust stain remover, so we'll see how that works as a soak. The next one is a product we were all familiar with, Coca-Cola. We'll open this up and pour some in. Okay, wrench is submerged. On to the next one. This is another product I'm sure everybody's familiar with, Monster Energy. Open this, pour that in. And this is another product that I'm sure everybody's familiar with, just normal, everyday white vinegar. And the last product, Shaner's. We'll see how this turns out, and then I'll show you what the product is. So I'm going to let all these soak for a good 24 hours. I'm going to seal them up with some saran wrap. That way you don't lose any product due to evaporation. And then I'll get going on Shaner's method. So I got them all covered up. Let them soak overnight. And maybe at about the 12-hour point, I might open them up and just kind of give the wrench a flip. That way it gives both sides equal opportunity to soak. If you decide to do something like this, make sure you take safety precautions. You know, like wear eye protection. Make sure you're in a nice ventilated area. And whatever you do, even if it's household stuff, do not mix chemicals. You never know what's going to happen. Well, now it's been 24 hours since I've submerged the rusty wrenches and the rust removal products. So let's take a look and see how they look. Now I'm using my own tools here for the sake of this test. But before you go using stuff like this on your tools, make sure you test it in a little inconspicuous spot. Make sure it's not going to react with the chrome or whatever your tools are finished on. You know, there's no sense in trying to remove rust if it's just going to wreck the finish on the rest of the tool. The Enviro rust looks like it has removed the rust, and it's also looks like it's etched the wrench. Now the Krud cutter. From what I can see, it looks like it's removed the rust, and I actually see somewhat of a silver finish. We'll know more once I wipe everything off. The bio rust, it's definitely changed color. Looks a little bit lighter. We'll see how everything is once, see if it wipes off. Iron out. Seems to be the biggest visual difference in the tool. See all sorts of residue. Again, we'll try wiping it off and see what the finished product is. Coca-Cola. Really hard to see because it's just Coca-Cola. It's dark. Can't see much through it. Monster Energy. You know, all these chemicals, this seemed to be the smell I smelt the most. Yeah, it looks like it's done something to it. We'll see. And the white vinegar. Cloudy. We'll give her a good wipe down, see if it's loosened any of the rust. In case you're curious about what the Shaner's method of rust removal is, nothing more than good old-fashioned elbow grease. Just took it to the bench grinder on the wire wheel, gave it a good buff, the rust came right out. Took me no more than a couple minutes. So I've wiped them all down and put the wrenches in front of their respective rust removal products. Now the actual rust removal products, they all removed the rust. I guess you can make the argument one or the other, you should have let it soak longer. But the Enviro rust turn the wrench black, which basically probably treats it so rust doesn't come back. But if you take it to the wire wheel, that comes right off and you're left with a decent finish. Same thing with a Krud cutter. You take that to the wire wheel and it comes off, but as you can see, this wrench itself is badly pitted. The bio rust looks like it removed the rust and didn't really leave any coloring on the wrench. The iron out, which itself is actually a stain remover, not a soak, did a fair job. It kind of left like a greenish yellow tinge. Took it to the wire wheel. That was a little bit tough to get free. Now as far as rust removers from your food and beverage section, looks like the Monster Energy is the only one that actually dissolved any of the rust. So my choice of the 4 rust removal chemicals, personally, I would go with the Walter Bio Rust. It's the only one that really seemed to dissolve the rust and not etch or color the surface of the wrench. So after all, aren't you just looking for something to soak in and walk away? If you gotta take it to a bench grinder after to get the coloring off, you might as well just take it to the bench grinder to begin with. Now the rust removal products from the food and beverage center. My pick, hands down, would definitely be the Monster. Looks like it's the only one that actually even touched the rust. But in my opinion, the quickest, easiest, and cheapest way to remove rust from your tools is my version of good old-fashioned elbow grease. You know, I just took this to the bench grinder on the wire wheel. I spent no more than a couple minutes on it. I'm sure if I spent a few more minutes, a little bit more time, it would look even better. What rust removal products have you used to keep the rust off your tools? Let me know in the comments section. You know, one surefire way of keeping your tools from rusting is use them all the time and keep them coated in oil. Just want to end this video and thank one of my new subscribers, Jeep Girl Janelle. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. Anyway, that's it for tonight's video. Hit that like button and subscribe. I got more videos coming. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.